Hey, have you ever wondered why the sky is blue? Or why is there a change in the color of the sky from blue to white to yellowish red? To understand this, we need to know a bit about the light and colors. The light from the sun is white in color, but actually white is a mixture of various colors as we normally see in the rainbow. Isaac Newton discovered that white light is made up of a spectrum of colors. When white light passes through a prism, it refracts into the colors of the rainbow. The colors we see is called the visible spectrum. To remember the colors in a sequence, we normally mnemonic Rayleigh from top to bottom or Rayleigh from the bottom to top. But why do we see the colors in this format? Why do we see that violet has a small arc and red has the big arc in a rainbow? This is due to the wavelengths of each color. Wavelength is the distance between two crests or two troughs in a wave. In a wave, there are crests, the highest point, and troughs, the lowest point. Red has a wavelength of 625 to 750 nanometers. Violet has a wavelength of 380 to 450 nanometers. Hence, we can see that violet has a small arc and red has a big one. So, let's go back to our topic. Why is the sky blue in color? The sky being blue is mostly because of the atmosphere. The atmosphere contains 70% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 1% of other gases and particles like smoke, dust, water particles, carbon dioxide, and other greenhouse gases. When the sunlight passes through the atmosphere, it means it's passing the particles in it. When the sunlight passes oxygen or nitrogen, the light is scattered into various colors, but mostly the colors with shorter wavelengths like blue and violet get scattered more. This is because that nitrogen and oxygen are smaller than the wavelength of sunlight. This is why the colors with shorter wavelengths get scattered more. But blue is more sensitive to our eyes, so that's why we see the sky blue in color and not violet. But hey, why is the sky white in color sometimes? This is because sometimes the light can pass through particles of dust and smoke. Dust and smoke that are not in big proportions in the atmosphere are bigger than the wavelength of sunlight, so the light is scattered equally and the result is a white sky. Now you can wonder why we have a reddish-orange hue at sunrises and sunsets. At sunrises and sunsets, the sun is further from you, so the sunlight has to travel a lot more distance. That means the sunlight has to travel through more particles of oxygen and nitrogen. When the sunlight is passing through the particles, the colors with shorter wavelengths, which are blue, indigo, and violet, get scattered into the atmosphere before it even reaches our eyes. The colors with longer wavelengths, which are red, orange, and yellow, reach our eyes because they are scattered less because of their longer wavelengths. That's why we see the sky as an orangish hue in sunrises and sunsets. So now we know why at certain times the color of the sky changes and most of the time that the color of the sky is blue.